Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of February 7th, 2021. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury, and it's time for This Week in Wrestling. Yes, we know we're bringing This Week in Wrestling back because we got to talk about the Royal Rumble fallout.
Yes.
We got to talk about Edge. We got to talk about where he's been, where he's going. We got to talk about Bianca Belair. There's a lot going on now.
It really is.
It's Mania season, baby. Monday Night Raw sees Edge show up to confront Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
About whether or not he's going to challenge Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania for the Raw World title.
Drew McIntyre makes the classic babyface mistake of building his opponent with compliments,
Right.
which I don't understand. Which, of course, Edge calls him out on and is like, I'm your opponent. Why are you complimenting me? In my day, I would have tore you apart.
Right. Then we of course, see the Sheamus interruption. Sheamus then... Edge decides to leave, tells McIntyre whatever belt he challenges for, he'll be walking out of WrestleMania champion. McIntyre turns around, pro kick from Sheamus, which is what we talked about forever ago. McIntyre and Sheamus. I don't want it to go all the way to Mania, but I feel like Sheamus is a good filler for McIntyre until then.
Right.
But I'm excited because that's just going to be a couple of really good, hard-hitting fucking fight matches.
Oh, yeah. Monday Night Raw, I'd be remiss if not to talk about their main event. Randy Orton and Edge put on a clinic.
Yep.
A fantastic match. The end comes with Alexa Bliss showing up in the top corner, blood coming out of her mouth. Turns around, Edge, I believe, hit the spear,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Got the pinfall on Randy Orton. The good thing about this is now Edge and Randy Orton's book is over.
Yep.
We can get back on track with The Fiend and Randy Orton and send Edge to Mania for Roman.
Yes, that was their end point for that. But I still want to point out that Edge did not cleanly beat Randy Orton. He still had to have help.
He did capitalize off the distraction.
He is the ultimate opportunist.
He is the ultimate opportunist.
Fits the gimmick. But yes, great match. Both guys really put in the work. For a Monday Night Raw main event.
Yeah.
Classic.
We then see Edge travel to NXT.
Yeah, he did.
On Wednesday night to confront Finn Balor as NXT World Champion because people will forget the Royal Rumble means you can challenge for any world title. Charlotte challenged for the NXT World title, Women's title against Rhea Ripley last year.
Yes.
So,
which was the very first NXT championship to ever be defended at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So we see Edge talking to Finn Balor, reminding Finn Balor that he is the winner of the Royal Rumble, but also had some very complimentary things to say about NXT. How NXT inspired him to make his return. How the hard work and the ethics of the locker room at that time were the reason that he decided to get back in the game. It was him, Roderick Strong, Finn Balor,
Pete Dunne.
and Pete Dunne were all in the ring together.
Yes.
Jaw-jacking, having a conversation, and then of course,
on his way out of the building,
Karrion Kross.
He runs into Karrion Kross, who says, don't concern yourself with Pete Dunne, Finn Balor, or Roderick Strong, because time WrestleMania gets around here, I'm the champion, and the only thing he had left to say to Edge was TikTok.
TikTok, motherfucker.
Which I would pay
hard money.
Serious money.
Good money.
For Karrion Kross to be at WrestleMania this year.
Now, do you think, though, it'll end up being like Karrion Kross and Finn Balor for the belt at WrestleMania?
Yes, I do.
It'll give Balor a chance to get through the next 2 months.
I would prefer it to be Walter and Balor, but Walter will never be on state soil because he hates being in America. That is actually legit. That's why he is not being used right now. He's not a fan over here.
Good. I don't blame him.
That's fine. Stay in the UK and just dominate. You're fine over there.
Do your thing, baby.
Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
At WrestleMania, take my money.
If not Edge. But that's not happening.
Because we know what's going to happen. Because on SmackDown, the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble confronted the big dog, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns opens the show by calling Edge out, telling him to come to the ring. Edge doesn't show up. Throughout the show, Heyman updates Roman Reigns as to whether or not Edge has shown up, and Edge indeed eventually does show up.
Yeah.
Edge cuts a great promo about how he's back, how hard he had to work to come back, how hard it was to win the Royal Rumble.
How he was coming for a title that he never lost.
And then Roman Reigns confronts him in the ring and demands that Edge acknowledges him
Like Caesar from fucking Planet of the Apes.
That's right. And then who should appear? But Kevin Owens, and stuns the shit out of Roman Reigns.
Edge just smiles,
Edge
sets
just
the mic down, and leaves.
fucking leaves.
Now here's the deal. While I am a huge fan of the Edge Drew promo, and the Edge
Finn
NXT promo, and the Edge Roman Reigns thing they did, creative, please stop rehashing the same shit.
Yeah.
Edge gets out of the ring. Sheamus attacks Drew. On SmackDown, we get Kevin Owens attacking Roman Reigns.
Pete Dunne creates the distraction with Balor.
While you're setting up two storylines, because that's basically what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's finishing off your Kevin Owens thing, and it's, of course, building your Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. You're hurting Edge by comparison.
Yeah. And Max made a really good point, too. Is Edge always going to come out and talk about his return? Is every promo he cuts about how he was out of business?
It's the same thing.
Like he's back now. Let's stop talking about the time you were away and let's start talking about what you're doing now.
Well, stop talking about it and
I agree with that.
Show it to me.
Hold on. Now, yes, I get what you're saying, but again, in defense of that, the man was just out 7 months with an injury.
That's true.
Come back and won the Royal Rumble.
Well,
Hold on. Let me make my point. It's only been 5 days removed. That's what everyone has to remember. 5 days from going wire to wire in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
From one to the end.
Yeah.
Orton could do it.
Orton had an opportunity to do it and stood in the back for 40 minutes. I love Randy Orton, but to be fair...
That was strategy.
But to be...
That was strategy.
Up top.
No. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't smart.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the man spent the entire time in the Royal Rumble
because
after an
he's
injury.
smart. Yeah. Edge could have done that, but he didn't. Because he's not smart enough.
Yeah, but Edge won the Royal Rumble.
It's true. Orton didn't.
Orton got screwed.
I'm not going to disagree.
I didn't say he didn't, but I'm saying when the smoke cleared...
But when the bell tolls...
Edge won the Royal
Rumble.
Yes, but he didn't beat Randy Orton. He just won the Royal Rumble.
I'm going to let him have that.
That's right, you are.
So, I'm going to let him have that one. But as far as the promos go, the reason it feels like that is because the last time he come in and cut those promos, he got hurt.
Yeah.
When he come back from the injury, he had to build all that shit all over again. Plus, that's not on Edge, that's on creative.
Right.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, let's take a look at the world title pictures overall.
Okay.
Edge and Roman at Mania.
For sure.
Bianca and Sasha at Mania. Finn Balor and Cross at Mania. That would be the projection, unless they completely
Randy Orton and The Fiend.
Randy Orton and The
has to happen at Mania.
McIntyre, don't know yet.
I'm gonna say Sheamus, man. I don't see
it lasting 3 months.
I don't see anybody on Raw viable to be a contender. If Keith Lee comes back.
Damian Priest?
We've got
too soon.
2 pay-per-views to get through.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's possibilities of unknown people coming into the equations.
Usually, but for now...
There's possibility. It's too early to call.
Right.
Yeah. What I'm saying.
With WrestleMania, usually your call-ups come the night after WrestleMania, the big call-ups. Right. What I don't understand is, for the first time in a long time, Elimination Chamber usually sets your heavyweight championship matches for Mania.
Yeah, the second
one. But here's the deal. How do you do that? Because Edge hasn't picked. If Edge hasn't picked who he's wrestling, how do you know what Elimination Chambers are going to be for what?
That's up to creative to figure out.
They're going to give it away before it happens by who they put in the Elimination
Chamber. Yeah, I agree.
Match. Now, Edge will, of course, declare probably at said pay-per-view just to get people to tune in.
Yeah.
But how do you build
Watch Edge win
how do you build an Elimination Chamber and be like, well, Daniel Bryan just won the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. Oh, Edge just come out. I declare for SmackDown. Well, now Bryan's
now it's a triple threat match.
God, I fucking hope not.
I know.
Or Raw, for that instance. Well, we're going to build Drew McIntyre a contender. Well, that's probably how they'll do it.
Yeah, for Raw, that's how it's going to be decided.
But
it's possible.
How do you do that? How do you book that match and put the booking into that match if that person's not going to get the title
I don't think it's going to be very long until Edge.
You know what I mean? No, does that make sense?
With the way they've been building Roman, it would only make sense for Roman to win the Elimination Chamber match
Ooh.
on SmackDown.
To win his own elimination chamber?
For him to keep
Uh-huh.
the belt and
And
go
keep
in
the
up
belt.
against Edge one-on-one.
And then lose it to Edge, given...
Yeah, that's smart.
That makes
I
sense.
see that as the most likely scenario.
Or you have Jey Uso win the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match and come out and be like, Roman be like, you're not challenging me, you're going to lay down at WrestleMania.
Yeah, for that to
and
happen,
Jey Uso be on board, and then Edge come out and be like, you're not going to have an easy night at WrestleMania because I choose you.
Right.
But then Jey would have to win the elimination, or be in the elimination chamber match, and we just say that he's even got a shot.
Here's the deal. He can go into the elimination chamber and Roman Reigns come out there and fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Like he's been doing for the last...
No, okay.
Yeah.
Put him in there as a pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is have him win the elimination chamber and then Roman come out and be like, you're going to lay down. I guess I'm not wrestling at WrestleMania because...
You're going to lay down for me.
You're going to lay down for me because we're family and that's what family do. And then have Edge come out and be like, he's not laying down for you because I'm yours.
Yeah. Is the elimination chamber not for the title?
No, it's usually for the challenge for Mania.
Oh, because didn't it always used to be for the
at
belt?
one point
they have them. Sometimes it's for the belt. Sometimes it's for the number one contendership. Okay. It varies.
But like I said, usually you have the Rumble man already declared. That's why one of the matches is usually for the title,
right?
And the other is to see who challenges the champion. Because usually the Rumble has already declared who he's going for.
Now, before we
I actually know the answers to these questions. I'm asking them for all the people you're watching that don't know.
Now, before we go on time, we do have to talk about AEW.
Yes,
Kenta coming from NJPW to attack Jon Moxley.
We were both just going to go Kenta and then be like,
and
thanks for watching.
Right. We've been talking about this collective effort between all the companies for a long time. We saw on this previous episode of AEW representation from AEW, Impact, AAA, NJPW, and the NWA. We're only missing one piece of the machine now. Well, two pieces, technically. We're missing two pieces of the machine now before this thing really kicks off. However, Kenta attacking Jon Moxley, reestablishing their feud for the NJPW US title. It's fucking on. NJPW's in the fold, which means eventually I'm going to get the Bullet Club versus the Elite, which is what I want. You can't take
basically what you're getting is the Bullet Club versus what they're calling the Bullet Club now.
Yeah, Tama Tonga versus everybody. Everybody dies.
Speaking of which, Finn Balor jumped on Twitter the other day. You know, Finn Balor is the guy who conceived
the Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club and tagged every member of the Bullet Club on there calling for unity in the Bullet Club.
There we go.
How do you do that? Like, he's just like, hey, everybody else is getting in. Vince, you and Triple H yourself said, we can work with people. Fine. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump on Twitter and I'm going to call to arms every member of the Bullet Club.
It's no longer about the WWE, AEW, or NJPW.
It's about the coalition versus the club.
That's right, baby.
Dude, oh my God. I would pay so much money.
Give it to me.
I really would.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got more videos coming your way. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below what you thought about this week in wrestling. Where do you think Edge is going to go? What do you think's happening with Kenta over on AEW? Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. I think I already said that once. That's okay.
We'll do it again.
We'll be back.